Austin with Toucher and Rich Sherent, Lieb, Crash Clark, Adolfo Gonzalez. My name is Fred Toucher, and today we saw someone on television that we've had on the show a couple times, Miss Eliza Dushku, and she was on with the Fox people, and we had the sound up, and she goes, "I'm coming to do WBCN," and I went, "Oh." Apparently, Eliza Dushku's coming in today, and I saw that.
I just stormed the WBCN studio.
Did you do any other radio shows in person today?
I did not. I did one phoner, but I wanted to come and see you guys in person because I've talked to you from LA when I was doing various radio tours, and I always said that I would come in, and so I wanted to
keeping to her
my
word. Nice.
Kept your word. And you were talking to Doug Meehan, and
funny guy. I like him.
Oh yeah, he's the greatest.
His tan's pretty funny. Seeing that his march in Boston.
Did any of it rub off on you?
He was nothing but kind and sweet and good times.
And bronze.
What does he smell like? Because I'm imagining like a heavy scent of Drakkar.
He had like a nice, good Boston boy scent. I don't know. Boston men smell different than LA boys, but.
Is that true?
Are you guys ragging on him? That's my wife. What's going on right now?
He has a nice collection of sweaters. You should go into the business.
He was soft. When I had my arm around him and we were doing traffic report together, he was smooth.
Yeah, it's just because he has that really that tan that speaks of a man who enjoys makeup and. Again,
I'm from LA, so I'm used to seeing real, tanned out people. So I honestly didn't even notice. I just thought he was affable and charming and very, very kind to me.
Now, can you tell when you're in LA who the people are? You're talking about the people, the over the top tans, the people who moved out to LA and are trying to instantly look like LA people.
Yeah, you can kind of see it happen overnight on some people. I'm heading to the Bahamas tomorrow to get a real one. Mm-hmm. I'm taking my first vacation in 2 years since working on the show, because Dollhouse, we've been, Joss and I came up with the idea 2 years ago, and I've been producing on the show, and we've really been my best friends with me, and we've been working really hard. So I'm going to the Bahamas and getting a real tan.
Well, you just said
freak me out.
You said the magic word Joss, because sitting to my left is Adolfo Gonzalez, who is a Joss Whedon maniac.
Oh, Rich, you missed it off the air before we went on. They were having a little powwow about the show.
Yeah.
No, Adolfo, this is must be huge for you.
Yeah, it's kind of like weird for me because I'm a huge fan. I was a fan of the character Faith in Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel, and it's kind of bizarre.
Well, do you have any questions? Do you want to say something other than just mumbling?
Gee, I'm kind of awestruck, to be honest.
I'm like,
this is the first time ever I've actually been starstruck by a celebrity. So,
did you take a shower
this morning?
Did you brush your teeth
this morning?
Did you brush your teeth this morning?
Oh, not.
Okay. When was the last?
You smelled good too.
Oh, then Meehan smelled like a pig.
And you obviously are lacking certain senses.
Yeah.
So yes, the show Dollhouse is on. It's on Friday evenings.
Friday nights at 9 on Fox. Yeah.
And it's still running now.
Yeah, we had a big spike last Friday night in ratings, which was nice. And this show is really starting to sort of find its groove right now. The next episode is probably my favorite. It's a Joss original. And, the first few, you're setting up such a big premise. It's such a big idea. And we sort of we're doing self-contained episodes so that people could join the show that were late to the party when it first came out, and now we really get to sort of go deep, and it gets crazy, and it's really kind of good, if I may.
Eliza,
so humbly myself.
Dushku is in studio now. You are in town for what reason?
I am here with Boston Common Magazine. I have my cover that just came out today that my mother loves over my Maxim cover that's also out right now.
Yes, we discussed.
She prefers this one.
Now, your mother's in studio with you right now, and she obviously forced you into acting at an early age. And,
hardly.
Yes.
Stage mother written all over.
Right. She looks like someone who was out to earn off her daughter.
She actually turned down the first phone call when I was offered to go out to LA and screen test. Her answer was, "Oh, that sounds so sweet, but that's not the kind of life I want for my daughter. Thank you," and hung up. And my three brothers went, "It's a free trip to LA. Take her to Disneyland. She's not going to get the part."
What was the first call? What was that? Was it like to what? Like, what was the role?
It was actually for a feature, Warner Independent called That Night. I was 9 years old, and I tripped and fell at my brother's audition, and I was tagging along. My brother's an actor as well, and he's now my producing partner with Boston Diva Productions. And it was so random. I mean, I was literally just sort of the dramatic kid that tripped and fell and had the crocodile tears come in, and it turned out to be an 8,000 girl search, and I
You rule.
got it.
You were
like totally
It
ruled.
was like dumb luck with great luck, and
And meanwhile, your brother's like fastening a noose because he actually tried, and then you get into it by accident.
No, we're doing a biopic on Robert Mapplethorpe right now, and he's actually going to be playing Robert, and it was sort of the role he was made for.
Is he loosening up so he can get the bullwhip in the right place?
He's, you're Mapplethorpe.
Absolutely, girl.
But no, he and I have really been able to collaborate, especially in the past few years, because now that I've been doing this for so long, I was either going to move back to Boston and go to school. My mom teaches at Suffolk University. She's a political science professor and everybody's favorite professor. Everywhere we go, people go, my sister had you, or I had you. And so I was either going to come back and go to school or start a production company and start making the kind of films that I want to make. And I've sort of, in the past few years with Dollhouse, have been really finding out who I want to be in this business. And I have a lot of great.
All right, so obviously you're from, Eliza Dushku is from Boston.
Watertown.
From Watertown.
You were from a very normal family, an academic family. You get along with your brothers very well. So when you were young, and you were a child actress, so when you go out to L.A., and I heard that, like, there was a time where, like, Mickey Rourke was hitting on you when you were, like, 14.
Yeah.
This has got to be extremely weird for your family. Like, I'm looking at your mother. Were you aware that Mickey Rourke was hitting on her when she was just a mere 14?
My mom's like, who's Mickey Rourke?
He's the handsome chap from The Wrestler.
She was literally.
That's right.
She didn't know De Niro. My second movie, I played De Niro's kid.
She didn't know who Robert De Niro was? Really?
Mama.
Was there a television in your house, or was it one of these houses?
No.
You didn't have
We
TV?
were talking about Rwanda and current events, and my friends were always like, oh, great. But now I appreciate it. But no,
So how did
actually,
Rourke hit on you? Now, how did that start? How did the conversation start?
just coming down for breakfast in the morning. We had the newspaper out, and she teaches international politics. We would always travel with her. She would take groups of students to different countries.
No, I mean Mickey Rourke. How did he start?
Oh, I
how
thought
did
you
Did
said-
he ask if he could, like, sleep in your backyard or something?
Right. Do you have a box I can borrow?
He started offering me cigarettes, and then he asked me if
Sounds
I,
like a
if
move
I
I
wanted
make.
to go to the whiskey bar that night. And then
And you're
he started
14.
flipping my chair around, and it was a whole thing.
So it was
But,
just innocent, playful fun to a 14-year-old. Have some cigarettes and whiskey.
But
I don't-
14...
it's in his defense. They don't think he knew I was 14.
Yeah, because 14 in L.A. for an actress is
Yeah.
like 38. Like, like you're like getting into clubs, and when you're 14 in L.A. and you're an actress, there wasn't many restrictions on you in terms of what you could do it in the evenings and things.
That's true. I did have a little bit of I narrowly escaped all the sort of TMZ that goes on today. But when I first got there, I was no angel for a minute. I felt like all my friends in Boston were going off to college, and I went out to LA, and so I had my time, but then I've sort of given that up at this point.
Yeah, you've given it entirely up.
Yeah.
Did you
Loud
do
and
that
proud.
triathlon?
I did a triathlon. I'm going to be doing the South Beach triathlon on the 24th. I don't know. It feels kind of good. It's a adrenaline high. It's better than, you don't have a nasty, like, splitting headache the next day.
Right. Of course not.
You just
running and biking and swimming all that length is just like, why do cocaine?
Right, because you're just throwing up, your feet are bleeding.
Right, exactly. It's just like doing drugs, only it's incredibly grueling and
It's the
sucks.
good drug. It's the good drug. I gave up smoking, and I don't even really drink coffee anymore.
See, Mickey Rourke won't even look at you anymore.
I know. Dang it.
I mean, so you don't drink, not even a glass of wine or nothing, huh?
Really?
You're totally
No.
clean.
Totally
Wow.
clean.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for coming in.
But, but I gotta say, I gotta shout out with Boston Common. The main thing that we're doing, I have a camp that my father and my brothers have been involved with for years. It's the oldest camp in the country for young boys. It's called Camp Hale. It's